Brown and Rihanna had their whole altercation was because Rihanna had sex with Clyde Davis. They were tossing her around.
She was so young. She was underage when she came over here, actually.
Yeah. You gotta understand. It's like, man, you gotta do something for them to get in.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started f***ing with her and signed to the death kit.
Rihanna's past coming back to bite her after her STD hospital report leaked on social media. Word on the street is that she allegedly caught multiple STDs back in the day from messing with multiple industry executives, and ended up infecting Chris Brown. Apparently, this was the real cause of their 2009 DV incident. But they decided to cover it up so Chris will look like the crazy black man who attacked her for no reason. According to Jaguar Wright, not only did Chris find out Rihanna gave him some nasty diseases, but the same night he went to confront her about it, he found her bent over at a party getting her back blown by the same man who gave her the disease. And guess what? It was Diddy's industry godfather. I don't think I need to mention his name here for y'all to know who I'm talking to. But yes, word on the street is he was getting it on with Ree for a while in exchange for some industry favors.
He said there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signs or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing. Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? This is her own words coming out of her mouth, and she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew.
Wright and Rihanna's rich ex-boyfriend's former aide were the ones who initially made these accusations. However, this was recently brought back to the forefront of social media when actor Braxton Wells made an appearance in a contentious interview.
What are the stories you've heard about Clive Davis?
I remember, I heard stories like the reason why Chris Brown and Rihanna had their whole altercation was because Rihanna had Clyde Davis, but listen, I know they might try to come after me or something like that, but this is what I'm hearing from other people, and it makes sense. Rihanna, of course, is coming from an island. She ain't no U.S. citizen, so she's going to do anything as possible to do whatever she wants. And I heard that she had with Clyde Davis, and Clyde Davis is the one that discovered Michael Jackson, of course, and she caught herpes from Clyde Davis and gave it to Chris Brown, and that was the whole reason why those guys were fighting. And that's why they tried to protect Rihanna's career that whole time, and that's why they were trying to tarnish Chris Brown, but they can't tarnish him because this guy is very intelligent. And yeah, that's the story. But
I've never heard that. Wow.
Yeah, I heard that from quite a few people that's in the music business, and
damn.
Rihanna was they were tossing her around.
She was so young. She was underage when she came over here, actually.
Yeah, you gotta understand. It's like, man, you gotta do something for them to get in. And I know quite a few people right now in the business that are trying to make it in the music business, and they're very young. Some people lie about their age too. Some of them say they're 17 or 16, but they've been lying for years.
Yeah, that's like Mila Kunis from that '70s show. She's married to Ashton Kutcher now, who was at those Diddy parties too. Yeah. But when she came over here, she was actually 14. She wasn't 17. So
yeah. But that stuff is real, man. Like that is a real thing. And
since this isn't the first time someone has mentioned this, many people trusted him. People eventually think everyone cannot be telling the same lie. As you recall, I mentioned that one of Rihanna's ex-boyfriends came out recently and exposed her for spreading sexually transmitted diseases. Rapper Almighty J and adult film star Hailey Dean conducted the interview. And it quickly became messy. Darling. According to Hailey, this incident occurred a few years ago when Rihanna was seeing her boss, who is reportedly a rich African monarch. Rihanna allegedly gave the man chlamydia just a few weeks after they started dating. Even worse is the fact that this man was married and ultimately spread the chlamydia he supposedly contracted from Rihanna to his poor wife.
They say you look like Rihanna.
She hates me.
Why?
Because I worked with her a few years ago on, this is when she had her foundation. Right before she launched her what was it at that time? That
Fenty?
But no, I think it was before the Fenty, because it was whatever Kylie came out with. They all went in cahoots. They were all arguing with each other. And that was when Kim came out with her line, Kylie came out with her line. But Rihanna had this foundation back in 2015, and it was her white gala. And that was when she kind of like was sponsored on med beds, high tech, all that. Well, I helped fundraise her gala here in Hollywood. Well, she was my boss and gave my boss chlamydia. And here I am, the hoe, alleged. Yeah, I am. But everyone thought that I was the one my boss, and in all reality, it was this. And so it just literally got to the point where all that came out that she got him sick, that because he was married, he's can you put your seatbelt or behind you? You don't have to put it on, but behind you. He's a king, or he's a prince in Africa. And so he came out here back in 2013, worked with Global Canvasser, which was a nonprofit, and then worked with UNICEF in the United Nations. That's where I got on, and I was able to partner with UNICEF in the United Nations. So I lived out in Australia for a little bit, working with this corporation. Well, right before that,
Haley claimed that Rihanna had given Travis Scott the same chlamydia. Stank. In case you were unaware, Rihanna and Travis dated for a while after they met at New York Fashion Week. Although Travis allegedly wanted to keep the relationship a secret, one of Complex magazine's publishers, Lawrence Shulman, revealed the details of the relationship despite Travis's pleas for him to keep it a secret. They warned me not to share the information about him and Rihanna, but I did. He's not saying, "Don't tell anyone I'm smashing Rihanna," for that reason. This is because Rihanna is saying, "Please don't tell anyone."
I don't know if it was Travis, I don't know who the Rihanna was, but got dirty and got him dirty. And it was this whole thing. Well, she had her gala, and here I am, it was her white party gala. I'm dressed, I'm ready, I'm going after raising so much money for her thing, for his thing, for the company's thing. I show up, sorry Harley, but Rihanna said that you can't get in. Okay, cool. And that was in 2016. And then after that, I ended up partnering more on board with her ex-boss, and his name was Lamac Tubaya. What the f are you doing, you fat? No, that was my light. But yeah, she hates me. There's that foundation song that she came out with, and that was like, I don't lie about this. Like, it's to the point, like, even if I wanted to lie, I can't even make up a lie to lie about it.
However, it doesn't stop there. An unnamed guy sued Rihanna for $10 million in 2012, claiming she gave him herpes. According to the reports at the time, the man was Chris Brown, and he was keeping his name a secret to prevent the media from discovering it and accusing Rihanna of having sexually transmitted diseases. In addition, this individual, who is still thought to be Chris Brown, claims that she physically assaulted herself in retaliation for him claiming that she gave him herpes. According to the lawsuit, I did not, Rihanna. After she gave me herpes, I threatened to sue her for failing to disclose that she had genital blisters. Like Jim Carrey in the film Liar Liar, she started throwing herself at the walls and hitting herself in the face. Then, as a kind of retribution, she turned around and accused me of being responsible for the situation. Chris has never publicly acknowledged or denied that he was the driving force behind this litigation. However, as I mentioned, people think he's the one. And Jaguar is one of those individuals, correct? According to her, Rihanna supposedly contracted herpes.
No paperwork.
Okay, you never signed no paperwork.
I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the death chit.
Jaguar later gave another interview. But at the time, she didn't elaborate on the purported sexually transmitted disease that Rihanna allegedly infected Chris with. And darling, she spilled all the
You guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and Rihanna, you know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the death chair. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z, underage.
Jaguar claims that Chris became combative with Rihanna that evening because of his herpes infection. She not only infected Chris, but he also noticed that she had another man's D in her mouth as he pulled.
And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the f is this dirty?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh.
And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, she always sucking something. Then he said, "I'm done with you," and he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a sucking and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house the night before the Grammys. She in the car trying to fuck him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her. Because Lord knows he couldn't get away from the herpes.
Oh.
And he hit her back. Calm down.
My.
And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19.
My.
Because he got set up with a that was in a who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri.
Before Jaguar said that in order to hide the reality, Jay and Rihanna made the decision to fabricate a tale and provide a different.
And then they sat there, and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk about that little boy. And then they put together that whole sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America hated him for defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's sexy and she's pure. She has all of my respect when it comes to the game.
Ooh.
But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
Jaguar says she was at the party that night and actually witnessed the whole fall, in case you were wondering where she got all. This
comparison to anything I've heard about the situation.
That's what the happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last Clive Davis kiss the pinky ring party I ever went to.
Even though I don't think Chris was correct to touch her. After hearing about this situation, things do seem a little different. In fact, some people think that Braxton Wells likely confused Jay-Z with Clive Davis because Chris supposedly spotted Rihanna getting her back blasted at Clive's place. According to rumors circulating, Jay handed it to her before introducing her to other executives. All of this is not verified. All I'm here to do is spill the tea. Nevertheless, girl, folks are not holding back from thinking about this mess. Someone remarked, "You know what's insane? Family Guy joked about that. I looked up the episode on Google. Into Fat Air is the title. They made a joke about Rihanna giving Chris something." "Oh," said Stewie, "that's what happened." These animated series are more than simply cartoons. A different individual stated, Rihanna even said that Jay told her to sign the contract or her exit would be out the window. And they were several stories up. After sending a private jet to pick her up without her family, he held her in that room alone for hours before she signed it. Very shady. Remember Jonathan's claim that Jay and Rihanna were having an affair? I'm hoping everything comes out. Now, though, I'd want to hear your opinions. How do you feel about Rihanna reportedly spreading sexually transmitted diseases to others? And do you believe that was the true reason behind her and Chris's predicament in 2009? Please share your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Remember to watch this other dirty video by clicking here.